The Green Lantern issue 11 heads to the planet Wairim, where a group of lanterns investigate the planet being stripped of all its resources. The lanterns fan out and begin searching for what did this, and Stella reminds them that they are outside their jurisdiction and they need to be careful and should not be there in the first place. They soon find bug carcasses littering the ground and some tunnels, and going inside they find gamma levels consistent with an anti-particle annihilation phase. Thanks to finding the carcasses, they find that they belong to insectoid workers bred to work. Stell comes to the conclusion that they disassembled the planet, and pirate Captain Crack smuggled the antimatter through Ventura, the casino planet where Hal found them. But where the creature is now is anyone's guess. Suddenly Sinestro arrives, saying he knows the Quarman is on his way back to the planet, and they are all going to die. On Earth 15, the magical female lantern begins aging to death thanks to her lantern being shattered by the unknown being. Hal seals her in a stasis tube to stop her from aging, asking if any of them buy the giant, telling them that they are trapped there. The Batman lantern threatens the being with violence, but Hal tells him to calm down. Hal confronts him, demanding the giant explain himself. The giant says his oath, revealing he is the lost lantern Zundernell, the Golden Lantern, and guardian of the Cosmic Grail. Hal tells him that they will not be held prisoner there, and if they are, violence will ensue. The Batman lantern asks why it's okay for Hal to threaten him with violence, and not him, and Hal says that if he's anything like the Batman he knows, then they have a begrudging respect for one another, and he knows he's bluffing. The being tells them to follow him, and taking them to a towering structure, he tells the lanterns his people thought him dead, so he was marooned on the subworld. The being can't recall how long he's been on the world, however, and it could have been eons. The air grows cold as they reach the sentry box inside, and Zundernell says that he found relics of the Monitor race that were used to observe the multiverse. The giant starts up the devices, saying he tried to reach out to the heroes to fight with him, but the lanterns arrived. He tells the lanterns that when the multi-crisis is almost upon them, the Grail will reawaken and only the purest of knights may endure it. Flashlight finds something as Hal says that Zundernell hasn't answered any of his questions and wants to know where the other lanterns have disappeared to. However, the being zaps them all, knocking the lanterns down. Later, Hal reawakens to find Star Sapphire there. She apologizes for the distress signal since Zundernell has been faking them, trying to lure people to him. In Universe Zero, the lanterns confront the giant fire being who has Superwoman in his grasp. Halkar wants to fight, but the lanterns stop him, learning from the being they must find the Quarman, and that he is the border patrol between the antimatter universe and their universe. Marta, meanwhile, is growing concerned she hasn't heard anything from Hal and the others, but John says that they are locked out of Earth 15 and cannot contact them. Spectra says that this is the least of their problems, as the team know the Quarman is crawling his way back towards them. On Earth 15, Hal formally meets Carol from Earth 11, learning that she too has a complicated relationship with her Hal Jordan. Carol wonders if Hal has read Don Quixote, since Zundernell's plot of a multiversal quest is very similar to the book, meaning it's not really real at all. The duo soon find the missing lanterns, as Zundernell has captured them in stasis tubes, keeping them asleep. The being says that they are only sleeping and will rise when creation needs them the most, and he shall lead them, rekindling the living lantern in the process. Zundernell says that he can't have Hal and Carol threatening his mission, so unleashing the Bat Lantern and others, he pits Hal against the controlled lanterns. Zundernell wants them to join the sleepers or be judged as unworthy and killed. The lanterns charge their weapons, ready to fire, as Hal wonders if Carol's plan about only needing love is working. Carol tells him to trust in the violet light, as Hal wants to still do his plan, as Carol tries to distract Zundernell, who notices a being he fears has arrived. Hal quickly activates the teleporter device, sending a message to Earth 15 as Zundernell is confronted by Glyptus, his squire, who says that he loves Zundernell and now the being's cup overflows with poison and his life is now a lie. Zundernell pleads his squire for forgiveness and wants to hear his friend laugh one more time, but the magical lantern arrives, de-aged and back in action, telling the being he is under arrest as she and the other lanterns of the multiverse blast him and bind him. Hal says that they know his Cosmic Grail is broken and there is nothing to protect with his sleeping knights. Zundernell knows that they cannot ever understand what he feels as he is taken into custody. Later on the Green Moon, the Lanterns say their various oaths, taking off into the skies in victory. Hal is troubled, however, and for good reason, since elsewhere the Quarman returns to the universe, taking down the Lanterns on the planet Werim and beginning the 25-minute countdown until Hal Jordan dies. The Green Lantern issue 11 was a dang good penultimate issue for the first season of Grant Morrison's weird Green Lantern run. I've enjoyed everything about this book so far, and this issue was no different, delving into such concepts like a space Don Quixote, which may be the most Grant Morrison thing ever to have done in Green Lantern. It's also great watching these things that at first maybe don't have much relevance to one another, but then Grant Morrison kind of weaves them into one another, and it's all connected to this antimatter mission that Hal has been on for 12 issues, and better yet, it just all makes sense, which is a feat unto itself. It's complicated stuff because that's Grant Morrison's writing, but it's very easy to understand once it's all laid out for you. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.